Welcome back, everyone, to Public Affairs. I am your host, Kaylee Aiken, and today I'm here with Amy and Natalie. So, ladies, tell me a little bit about yourselves and why you are where you are today.
Sure. So I'm the Director of Grants and Special Projects at Mid-Ohio Educational Service Center. And what ESCs do is serve partner districts, in our case, across 3 counties, Richland, Crawford, and Morrow. And so we really bring experts and staff to the table that help our districts navigate all kinds of things. Academic career readiness, which is the seat that I sit in with the Business Advisory Council, and even student services and those kinds of things. So I really enjoy the work that I do on the Business Advisory Council because I started my career as a teacher, and in that role, and then later a principal, and then a programs director, I really saw a need to figure out how to connect students to their career next steps, and that's the work I get to do on the Business Advisory Council.
Awesome. My name is Natalie Longmeier. I am the Executive Director of Marion Matters, located here in Marion County. We have been in operation for about 15 years. I became the director last February, and so getting ready to finish up year 2. Worked in the nonprofit sector in this community for over a decade, and have the opportunity to host a business program within Marion Matters called the Employer Resource Network. So we are expanding into multiple counties and are really excited about this opportunity to just share what we're doing and continue to help manufacturing businesses and other businesses continue to thrive.
Perfect. I love that. So, Amy, let's start with you. Would you like to share some information about your organization that pertains to industry manufacturing?
Sure. So maybe a bit of history first. All Ohio school districts and educational service centers are required by Ohio law to have a Business Education Advisory Council. And the role there is to make connections between local businesses, many of whom are in manufacturing in the 3 counties that we serve, of course, and educators, so that educators can better understand the career choices that young people have in their own communities. So the ESC can serve as that connector, the convener of the Business Advisory Council, and that's the work that I do. So for 16 districts in Richland, Crawford, and Morrow counties, I am the person convening those entities together and trying to do work really around 3 buckets. So engaging local manufacturers in conversations that help us understand their needs in the workforce, and the kinds of experiences that students should have in high school that would prepare them for jobs in manufacturing. So really strengthening that understanding and using them to advise the education space. Also, building partnerships with local manufacturers that ultimately result in career experiences for students. So giving students hands-on and firsthand experiences with the environment of manufacturing, really breaking down some stereotypes about how manufacturing may look different to a student today than it does in their American history textbook. And they often think about the Industrial Revolution as, and that black and white picture in the textbook as being what a career in manufacturing would be like. And so part of the role of the Business Advisory Council with manufacturers is to break down those stereotypes and really open the minds of educators and students to the world of advanced manufacturing. That's so much more prevalent today and more relevant.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Natalie, would you like to share some of the information about how your organization pertains to industry manufacturing?
Yes, so I had mentioned we have a program that we operate called the Employer Resource Network. We have been operating that program since 2017. We currently have 15 businesses enrolled in the ERN. 2 manufacturers are currently with us. And that particular program really supports manufacturing in the ways of retaining employees. So what that looks like practically is a business purchases a share of time of what we would call a success coach to spend time in the businesses connecting employees to resources and supports to eliminate barriers for employment. So if anyone is watching and they know, or if they're in manufacturing, we often see housing being a barrier, transportation being a barrier, locating childcare or affordable childcare, or childcare that's available during second shift or third shift. We also have issues that arise while we're caretaking for elderly parents. And so that can pull people away from their job as well. But just all of those things actually create a barrier to get to work, sometimes on time, or get to work, period. And so what the ERN does is have that success coach on site for a particular amount of hours a week, working with and building relationships with employees. One of the things that our agency understands is that to help move change and mindset and shift things, we have to build relationship and trust. And so it can be very similar to an employer assistance program. A lot of businesses have what they call EAPs. And typically those serve and can still be used as a great place for legal advice, some counseling sessions. But what we have found over the last 8 years, especially since COVID, is people do need some more support in person and more personalized support. And so just a phone call or just a number handed off to an employee is not always the best to help them navigate a situation. And so this gives the coach an opportunity to work hand in hand with an employee, almost in a sense of case management if they want it to be in that in-depth, and really walk them through some situations, connecting them not only to a resource, but helping them fill out applications, maybe pre-screening them to see what they qualify for, and all of those things, so that the employees have, one, they can be more productive at work. So that's how that kind of translates back to the manufacturing or the business, is because if they have an employee in crisis mode, they're less productive at work. They have a tendency to have more accidents at work, and their mind is not focused on the actual job at play. And so if we can help them more than just give a phone number, but really help them navigate services and get the support that they truly need to streamline that so that they can be more productive at work, that's what that coach does. And so we do a lot of work in that arena. Like I said, we have 15 businesses. We're actively expanding our ERN program into Morrow and Crawford County and farther north as well. And we also base a lot of this work that we're doing on what's called the ALICE data. And I would love just to briefly highlight that data. ALICE stands for Asset Limited, Income Constrained, Employed. And this was a study that that was facilitated through United Way of New Jersey. And United Way of New Jersey had over 30 states participate in this. And really, for the audience probably here at Play today, really this also could be translated into what we would call working poor, is a little bit more of a translated verbiage there. But these are folks who are working, who just need extra support. They're really living on survival budgets. And we often find that that is also the folks who are working in these manufacturers. Not that they don't necessarily pay enough, so it's not necessarily always hinged on how much money that they're making, because we also don't understand the family dynamic. And that's the opportunity that an ERN has, is that coach has, is to really find out what the dynamic of the family looks like and what supports they're needing. And that ALICE data for Marion County, we see 33% of our county in that ALICE population and 14% poverty. And so that is almost half of our county that falls under the ALICE and poverty the data there. And so there's a lot of folks who struggle and need support and need help overcoming barriers to keep them employed. And so our agency holistically supports those efforts and really tries to keep those employees employed with that business. And like I said, we do have 2 manufacturing organizations with us, businesses with us, and it has been, very successful and a great way to also build workplace culture.
Absolutely. Wow, I didn't realize how much went into that. Yeah. So Amy, what types of industry manufacturing initiatives is your organization implementing now, and what types of future industry manufacturing initiatives are you planning?
Sure. So probably our gold star initiative is our educator boot camps. We do facilitate those in all 3 counties every summer, so Richland, Crawford, and Morrow. They're undergoing a 2.0 upgrade right now, as we're going to focus more on advanced manufacturing and technology skills in our upcoming boot camps, those skills as they apply to success in manufacturing careers. Our educators are really focused on kids. They're in the classroom and focused on what's happening there, and so it's really important for them to get an opportunity to go out into the manufacturing workplace and really understand and see the businesses that are fueling their local economies. And so the boot camps are intentional efforts to help educators get the experience of seeing what's happening in manufacturers. And also, I find that our teachers are our daily career advisors. Mm-hmm. And so they have that regular opportunity with young people to help them form their ideas about what their career futures could look like. And so Educator Boot Camp really gets at the heart of that. So, and some people don't know the Educator Boot Camps, because of the Lieutenant Governor's office, get a lot of hype. We are typically awarded 15 seats per year per county that are sponsored in part by the Lieutenant Governor's office. We have another manufacturing industry-based partner, Integrated Systems Technologies, who actually sponsors additional costs for teachers in those boot camps and awards 3D printers to the teachers who have a lesson unit or project that is the best use of 3D printing or additive manufacturing in a lesson that directly ties to a manufacturing career. And so the course itself is actually a 3 graduate hour course for credit. So I'm the instructor through Ashland for all 3 of those courses. And then I partner with our workforce development partners in each of those 3 counties to help set up the tours that take place in the local manufacturing facility. And then the best part is that on the final day, our educators come back to present this lesson unit or project based on what they've learned from manufacturers in their local communities, the actual content in the graduate course that I'm teaching for them, and they share this implementable lesson that engages a manufacturing or economic or workforce development partner in their classroom that they'll teach the following year. So that's one of the bigger projects that happens that's limited to summer, and it's been really important work too. In Crawford County, we were lucky enough to receive the Crawford Partnerships State of the Vision Award in 2024 for the contribution to manufacturing and workforce through these boot camps. And we also received a recognition from the Ohio Senate for Workforce Development just for the boot camps that my Business Advisory Council runs in these 3 counties. So I think it speaks to the importance of how that helps with the talent pipeline in manufacturing. Another project is Workforce Academy. So my Business Advisory Council is the sponsor for a registered pre-apprenticeship program that is linked to both construction and manufacturing, and that is available to students in all 3 of our counties and is connected directly with job shadowing, simulation experiences, in addition to module or curricular content around soft skills and technological skills that would help make a young person successful in manufacturing. And then as part of Workforce Academy, they're connected directly to apprenticeship programs that relate to those 2 fields. So really important in terms of what we're doing now. For the future, we are launching a new program in Crawford County called TurboCert. So this is an accelerated industry credentials program. It actually has 3 career pathways. One of them is advanced manufacturing. So in a short period of time, an expedited period of time, students will earn 2 industry recognized credentials that equal 12 points in manufacturing. So between January and May of 2025. So this is really targeted at students who didn't go to the Career Center. We love our Career Centers. They do a great job with serving the youth that are enrolled there. This is really intended for students that didn't go to the Career Center and maybe don't yet have an idea about where they'd like their future to go. And so the plan here is really to get them some skills, let them build some competencies that give them some value in the labor market. So we have partnered with the Crawford Success Center, which is also a partner with North Central State College, and we'll be sharing instructors. So Mid-Ohio ESC will be providing some instructors in robotics. North Central State College will provide some instructors for some of the other credential programs that we have. And so we're very excited about being able to serve youth in this unique way. The Success Center has had nursing programs for a number of years, and so this will be the first time that they really have a youth-facing manufacturing program that will allow students to make a connection to what's next. What's also exciting is that our Crawford County manufacturers have really jumped in to speak and advise us about what those competencies are within the credentials that have value for them, and they're willing to hire students who complete this program. So really having that acceptance into the next step was a very important part of putting this program together. And so that connection to employment in positions that pay a life-sustaining wage was a key component, helping to meet local workforce needs, and also knowing that a job where a student has earned a credential with labor market value can also be a stepping stone, either within a manufacturer or even into higher education. So that pathway to continued education and training, hence the reason for the connection to North Central State College. It's really to just show young people what all of the opportunities might be in a manufacturing career.
Yeah, I think that's really important because, like you said, the teachers are the stepping stone to what we know. So it's nice to have someone else's input to show us what's out there. And same question for you, Natalie. What types of industry manufacturing initiatives is your organization implementing now, and what type of future industry manufacturing initiatives are you planning?
So we, within the role of the ERN, that Employer Resource Network, there are two initiatives that we have been implementing. One we've been doing for a while, then another one we just started. But the first one is in relation to training. And so we, the businesses that come on board with the Employer Resource Network, we actually train their administration or some of their frontline supervisors on a training called Workplace Stability. And so what that particular curriculum and training is entailed to do is really showcase the employees through a different lens for the managers, to showcase maybe what some of their barriers, maybe some of the things that they process through when they're speaking, through their language. There's a curriculum term that we use called hidden rules. And so sometimes in businesses we have different rules that we assume that everyone knows, but not everyone knows them. And so by introducing this training to management, when we bring the coach in, the managers then have a better sense of the purpose of why the coach is there, and really understanding that they have a place in that workplace culture, that they're helping to set the tone for that culture, and really getting a better understanding of how the employees function. So, for instance, in our scenarios, if they are having a child care issue and they have no family involved, they're automatically going to call off, or their loyalty is always going to rely back to their family, not their job. And so we obviously understand in workforce that you have to work to get paid. So there's a lot of times different motives, I guess is the best way to say that. And so how do we, not to excuse behavior, obviously employees need to show up to work. We're both coaching that, Amy and I. We both want them to be there. But sometimes we also need to understand what they're walking through and what they're going through so that we can better assist them to make sure that they're there every day. And so that's where the coach kind of comes into play. So that workplace stability training is really just to open the eyes and give a different perspective of what employees are kind of navigating every single day, and just to have a little bit better of, like I said, understanding. The other aspect of that is we're never lowering an expectation. So sometimes people will go through this training and think that we're asking them to throw away all their policies and procedures or not follow what they're asking. No, what we're really looking for is just understanding. And so maybe understanding why an employee calls off more so than they're just calling off to call off. And so we often know that there's an underlining reason that they're not sharing with their employer. And so we use that training in that program. And then another new initiative, which is really exciting, is called our Bridge Loan Program. So employees who are in our employer resource program, employees have access to what's called a bridge loan. And this is a partnership with Pillar Credit Union. And an employee who maybe doesn't have the best credit or they cannot necessarily go out and get a loan because they don't have any assets, right? So there's no loan against a house or a car, anything like that. And so this gives them an opportunity to get a loan up to $1,500 based on a debt to income ratio. And they can use that money to, whether it's to pay back bills, whether it's to whatever the case they need the money for. And so this also gives them an opportunity to build their credit. So what we know about folks, employees in manufacturing, but really employees in all different arenas, is that some folks really have a financial struggle, making sure that they have enough money saved back for a lot of those barriers that they face. So there's no savings. They may not have any assets to cash in. And so this gives them an opportunity to build their credit, give them a loan, and then that loan is then directly withdrawn from their paycheck, and it is then transferred back into the bank to pay that off. The other bonus of this program is that there is a piece of there's a dollar amount that also is moved into a savings account. So not only are they getting an opportunity to get a loan without the credit check, right? They're also getting the opportunity to build their credit, but they're also getting the opportunity to build a savings, which for a lot of the folks that we work with, they don't have any money in a savings, or they're constantly borrowing from a 401k, which I'm sure if there's manufacturers on this watching right now, they see a lot of folks borrowing from their 401s as a savings plan, really not intended to be that. And so we're really excited about this. Our partners in Morrow and Crawford County employers do have access to this bridge loan. And so we have had our first, it's brand new. We just had our first application, was approved. So we were able to help that individual. But they can be paid back in various ways for the employee. And what this does for the employer, the manufacturer, is build again that retention. So they're not having an employee in crisis mode, calling off. We can help them, walk them through that process, fill out the application, communicate with the bank, help facilitate those pieces for them and with them. And then it keeps that employee there at the business more loyal because they're also offering. So this is not a loan that you can get anywhere else. This is a specific partnership with the Employer Resource Network being offered to employees that are in that program. And so this is a great retention tool for businesses to jump on board with the ERN because their employees would have access to that particular loan that isn't offered anywhere else. And so that's a great way for employers to showcase their importance of their employees and support them in that way. And so we're really excited about those two pieces that we have been able to implement in our manufacturer businesses and support those employees.
Wow, you guys are implementing a lot there. Both of your businesses, actually. So, Amy, what role does manufacturing play in the Business Advisory Council for the region that you serve?
Sure. I think really it all boils down to expert advisors. So really they're participating in our initiatives, but those are designed based on, in part, what students need, of course, strengths and aptitudes, but also the expertise that our manufacturers are providing about the activities for career readiness that the Business Advisory Council is implementing. So everything from superintendent tours, bringing superintendents into manufacturing facilities so that as the leader who sets the tone for career readiness for the school district, they can understand what it is that the workforce is asking for. Of course, the educator boot camps that we talked about. And we have a number of groups that provide tours for youth in manufacturing. So The Regional Manufacturing Council does tours over 2 days for manufacturing days tours. The Crawford Partnership does wage tours, which in part includes manufacturers. Our manufacturers partner for programs like TurboSir and the pre-apprenticeship program that I've talked about, and also career expos, career fairs, reverse job fairs, lots of other kinds of activities as well.
Yeah, definitely important aspects into this project. So, Natalie, what role does manufacturing play in the economics of the region your organization serves?
Yeah. So specifically, as we're actively moving into Morrow and Crawford, so I don't have as much of a foothold in understanding all of their manufacturer there. But for Marion County, Amy and I look through this in different lenses. I'm always interested to hear her responses. But for us, manufacturer is still a huge play in our economics here in Marion as far as employment opportunities. We are considered an industrial town. We still have lots of industries here in Marion. And so for us at Marion Matters and through the ERN program, a lot of the folks we work with work in these facilities. And so it's very important for, I think, the financial stability of our community to have manufacturing. And offer all, just what Amy was talking about, offer all of the roles that we have. It's not just only line and assembly, right? It's IT, it's HR, there's just so many other aspects, management and leadership roles and growth and development. And so I think that our communities are still thriving off of our industries, and we need them. We need them for the support of the community. And I will say, in a positive and a whole different other light, they're still very supportive of a lot of the work that goes on in our communities. They partner with programs like ours, but they also are funding lots of different things as well, supporting nonprofits, supporting just different pieces. So it's a very broad answer as far as economics of the region, but I do feel like it's still an important piece of who we are in this region, whether that's Marion or Crawford or Richland County, Morrow County. We have a lot of industries in those counties. And so a lot of part of our history, and really thankful that they continue to have employment opportunities here for folks.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we're getting ready to wrap up our interview, is there anything you guys would like to add or something that we may have missed? We'll start with Amy.
Sure. I think we're always looking for more manufacturers to partner with. And if you heard something today that makes you think that you'd like to partner with us, or if you have a student, or if you are a family member who is interested in connecting with some of the activities that I described today, you can certainly encourage your child to connect with their school counselor or career coach in their school district, or you can jump on our website, www.moesc.net.
Yeah. Natalie.
Yes, I would just say if you're a manufacturer watching this and you're interested in learning more about the Employer Resource Network, please reach out to myself, Natalie, at Marion Matters, and you can visit our website for more information as well, marionmatters.org, and look under Business Workforce Programming right there for the Employer Resource Network. We'd love and be happy to talk with you about the program and just see if it would be a fit for your place of employment.
Well, thank you both for coming out today. I learned a lot, and I hope the audience did as well. And I'll be looking into both of your websites to find more information. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And as always, you're watching Public Affairs, and I am your host, Kaylee Aiken. Thank you.